lord.agion here with another Steel Division Normandy 44 replay. So on the south side, as the guards, we have BrotherPedro. He's over here actually. As well as the Canadians, his ally Panic at the Costco. On the north side, from the SMG clan, we have Gabriel as the 3rd Fallschirmjäger, and we have GloryHalleluja. Hallelujah. As the 21st Panzer Division. Looks like we do got a significant amount of units over here. Ooh, including the AEC reconnaissance vehicle. Actually, a number Humbar with a autocannon. But there is a Pack 38, but it is pinned down. That is huge. And there's no other actually, there is this SPW-233 with 6 armor penetration. However, it will have trouble penetrating the frontal armor of the AEC. We do got the whatever looks like I think that was 221 getting cleaned up. Over here we do got half track with I guess we do got the with motor rifles. Looks like a lot of these units are doing actually quite fine. There is in fact a Cromwell 6 here. It is an HE weapon, and there is still 6 armor penetration. Can take out these Humbars. Of course, the Humbars do have auto cannons. If they get nice and close, they can make short work of that unit. An early Pack 43 will get spotted and pinned down. That is huge and gets destroyed there. Motor rifles will get cleaned up. Overall, very good. Currently, the map is in favor of the Axis players. We got a number of infantry units over here. The Fallschirmjägers are going to make short work. Actually, these are Canadian stormtroopers. They are, of course, affected by this officer, and these are 6 SMG wielding units along with TNT. So these things are monster at close range. They'll make short work of these Fallschirmjäger units, but this one unit is getting outgunned at the moment, which is a bit of a problem. We do got a Pack 41 Garachi along with Kubel MG and MG34, so there's quite a bit of suppression, a bit of AT to protect. However, this Ram 2 from the Canadian has 12 armor. That is actually quite hard to deal with early Pack 38s. Oh, but we do got early HS-129 out in the field. Looks like try to hit the command Cromwell, but will only force fallback. One of the Humbars did get forced to bail, most likely by these Panzer Grenadiers Panzerfaust. Humbar is trying to chase down this U3, this half track with the MG. There's some more and more reinforcing infantry. Front lines have been established. That one stormtrooper unit was cleaned up. But these stormtroopers with 3 levels of veterancy, granted they do no longer have their frag grenade because they used it. Must have been in some units they cleaned up right here. A lot of reinforcing infantry. These may be reservist units, but I can't really say for sure. This Pack 41 has been spotted, but it is only down to 1 member. This command carrier doing a significant amount of damage. I'm sort of surprised this command carrier is actually doing so much damage. Down to get that squad down to 1 member. That's huge. That means it can easily just sneeze upon and get killed. We got some reinforcing a Panzer 35 and a Pack 38. The Hotchkiss and that's up to 10 armor, which can take on this force over here, but wouldn't be able to take on a Ram 2 if it were to approach it. If there was one over there, but however, there is not. This pack is moving forward, which at this close range, it does have increased armor penetration. Should be able to penetrate the 12 armor. Humbar's moving forward. They are reconnaissance transport. This SPW-233 can be a bit of a problem, but we do got the Panzerfaust lining up fire. Does destroy one of the Humbars, but will get force pinned down. I'll say that Panzer Grenadier unit's well worth it to even get wiped, because it did manage to take out one of those Humbar. They can be quite hard to deal with. Vehicle control is still in favor of the Axis players at 30 points. Do note this game is not live. I got it from the replay system from the Steel Division 44 replay tools. But, oh well, at least hides up that counter. Some people don't like it, that counter being up, and I just realized I have currently the war game, what's it called? Layout, and here's my Steel Division Normandy 44. Slight difference. Just allows you to see this picture of Fat. His name is Fat. I did not realize that at the moment until I just looked at it. Either way, we do got another reinforcing AT gun, but this ram is behind a line of sight blocker. That is quite important. You got a scout team here. They do have, of course, 3 members, 2 bolt action rifles, and 1 SMG. If you can keep that reconnaissance unit alive, you could help spot this approaching pack. We got more Humbars, and we also got some moto rifles. Moto rifles do, of course, have the P8s, which do have a range of 200. That is a significant amount of range available to, actually, to the guards unit. This is guards armor. I was thinking that was Canadian, but I didn't think Canadians actually had. Do they have P8s on their squads? I can't really remember. This one recce will get cleaned up, but may be able to spot long enough for this why do you even try to pronounce that? Off logger. And we'll actually clean up that pack very quickly while there's still transmission damage on this Command Cromwell. But it can still move around, it can still fight, it can still shoot. And this soundtrack, I don't remember this soundtrack before. I think they may have added a couple soundtracks, I guess. You got this area being given away for the guards armor. I think actually guards armor. Did they change guards armor in a patch? I could have sworn that was already available before. I can't really remember. You got this various mechanized units, forced surrenders, very nice. This huge bulge is now in favor of the allied players, and they're currently ticking up at 2 per ticket. There is a Panzer 35 Hotchkiss in for reinforcements, along with some various reconnaissance units. Battle Phase B will be initiated in 1 minute 45 seconds, and we'll start seeing the heavier hardware being deployed. Though there is not much here for the Allied forces. You got a damaged tank, a HE tank, bailed out Humbar, and a recce. So we got a Staghound AA unit, so maybe he's eyeing to get some AA up. We do know there's that HS-129 out on the field, which just got deployed. Hitting the Humbar will get the kill on it. And you got air superiority, Vet 2 ME-19. This is a Vet 1 Spitfire, so most likely ME-109 will win out. It's getting hit by the Flak 38, along it's being in proper angle to actually engage. So, but he will probably get out plenty of time ahead. The HS-129 is going in for another strike for the last of his AP ammo. However, it looks like it rolled a lot of bounces. Looks like they, last time I checked, I thought it had an armor penetration of 12. It may have actually nerfed it, so now you must try to hit the side or rear armor for it to actually get some good penetrating hits. Immediately, ooh, gets a nice kill on the thing. And with a bomber, a Spitfire. That's huge. That's a huge dividend, and it ultimately only took out a Humbar. That's it. Humber. Humbar? Humber. Humber. They got this Spitfire being retreated back. They didn't even launch his bombs. He was satisfied with the kill and may get shot down by this ME-19. Currently is smoking and does in fact get shot down within moments before I actually fully evacuated. We'll actually cover up the road. I always wonder, in wargame, bodies or carcasses of vehicles and all that will block traffic. I wonder if it actually blocks traffic in this game. Do got a dogfight being initiated. This ME-19 is a little bit low on some ammo. Do got another air superiority fire. However, it is a 0 veterancy aircraft. They really want this guy dead. He is forced to fall back. All these aircraft will lay into it and splash him down. Splash. You got there was some sort of balance patch. I can see this guy has been fixed. Now he has a full 30 rounds. Now we do got a marksman unit now available to Fallschirmjägers. The Canadians also do have a marksman unit as well, but I don't see any of them deployed. In fact, one of their heroic units, the golden icon ones, is marksman. Staghound is doing great amounts of suppression damage to this aircraft, but however, there's still another ME-19 and it's still not fully suppressed. He needs to fly over the Staghound for some air support. Do got actually sniper scouts here. Do in fact have the scout snipers on both sides. However, this unit is slightly better, I believe, due to the fact it has 3 members over this 2-member squad. I'm just going to compare the stats. 10, rate of fire of 10, rate of fire of 8, so it's not as high rate of fire. However, it does have much higher HE at HE level of 5. But only has 2, 3 head, but it does have 3 members over this too. That can play an important role. We got the marksman now. Actually, he's probably eyeing the stormtroopers, lining up a shot. Actually, no, hitting these. Oh, these stormtroopers. See, I was right. Stormtroopers. We do got a Panzer IV now being out in the field. The first medium tank. Actually, there's 2 Panzer IVs. The first 2 medium tanks of the Axis players. We do got a Pupushkin Wagenwerfer pinned down, but down to 1 member. Forces to surrender with, well, because he was falling back, I guess. Not pinned. Or, I'm not sure. Rifle leaders will get cleaned up. Cromwell trying to hit the Hotchkiss. The Hotchkiss is at maximum range. It has, I think, a 50% chance of penetrating armor if assuming it gets hit, but it does get a force to fall back. We do got a Wasp universal carrier now moving on forward, eyeing to flame down something. This AA weapon is out of ammo. It may have been strong enough to in order to gauge the Wasp, but however, it's out of ammo. Pretty hard to shoot a gun when it has no ammo. Wasp is going to eye for. I'm not exactly sure how effective the Wasp is. It has a range of 260, so it has a pretty good range. It can outrange these Fallschirmjägers Panzerfaust. We'll clean up that rifle leader. But however, this scout car is trying to gauge. We'll get forced back by thanks to the stat count, and now he's going to go forward and start flaming down that unit. Over here, we do got a Marauder 1, along with some various units. We do got a half-track running forward with an infantry squad. It may, in fact, have a Piet team, but forced to surrender. Very nice. Once again, the ground has recontrolled in the Allied favor. Tickets are counting up in favor of the Allies. They are ahead by over 150. This flank is soon to be followed. There's 2 fallen. There are 2 Panzer Grenadier units along with some half-track support and Panzer IV. Over here we got the Ram. Still in this area is in favor of the Allied player, but you got this Wagenwerfer Pupushkin now available. However, it is only in light cover, so it is more prone to be spot. Scout snipers now moving forward. We'll get a nice hit. Forces the pin on that Fallschirmjäger squad. Oh, that scout sniper is really firing quite nicely. I'm so used to the Recce's back in Red Dragon. I love those things. Recce teams. Engage light vehicles and tanks at close range with a sniper team. Looks like this area is falling apart. The only major defense unit is now forced back. You got some reinforcements. You do got a Firefly and a Crusader Mark 1. The Firefly does have only 11 armor versus the 14 armor penetration of the Panzer IV. However, 16 armor penetration here. So if it hits, it has a significant chance of penetrating. I think it's like an 80% chance. Of course, it has hit. You got a significant amount of Fallschirmjägers in this area, along with this officer unit to buff them up. A lot of AT. It's going to be a hard to press, move forward. Stormtroopers maybe will get the job done if they had another squad or two. They do have, of course, smoke to throw to cover their own advance, and TNT to help obliterate the garrison units. We do got this Cromwell aiming for this Panzer IV. Panzer IV is going reverse, moving back. The Firefly should be approaching. Actually, the Firefly actually is probably going to be iron moving over here. Because the Panzer IV over here was cleaned up. I'm actually sort of surprised. The Cromwell was right here. I didn't see that actually getting shot. Actually, may have been from the command Cromwell. I was thinking one of these were the Cromwell 6 HE one. But neither are these. We got some huge dogfight. Looks like a Focke-Wulf eyeing for a bomb run. Will get the bombs off. Trying to win over the AA. Very nice. Getting quite a bit of suppression damage there. Eyeing to engage. They both have Vet 1. These guys are Vet 2 and Vet 1. But the significant suppression here. But we do got reinforcing. They're both from 2 players. This is probably going to go very nasty for the allied player. One that gets splashed down. The other one is lined up. He will get splashed down. And goes down those 2 aircraft. Now, where did that airplane corpse land? Right here. So let's see if this tank can go through that corpse with no problem. Actually, every time I zoom in, it seems like it gets smaller. Because up here it's quite big. Down here it's quite small. So it's not even on the terrain. You can see up here, it's actually covering half the road. Down here, it's not even covering up a fourth of it. Either way. Also got a Mosquito coming for a bombing run. A nice angled barrage trying to aim, carpet bombing this entire area, hitting that known area and a potential area right there. Very nice lining up of that bombing run. Got Panzer L6. It does have very close range to this ram. However, with only 5 armor penetration, I don't know if it can actually penetrate at this close range. Mosquito's still ready for a loiter. It does, of course, have 8 machine guns. 4 30 cals, well, 308, and 4 20 millimeters. Looks like it's just 303, which I think that was the caliber that the British largely used while we were using 30-06. It was made by Browning, so maybe that was actually the caliber we used. We do got 2 Sextons out on the field. Sextons do, of course, have direct fire and a decent artillery range. Unlike Company Heroes 2, they're actually decent as artillery. Actually, Sextons and Company Heroes 2 are not all too bad, just that there's just not that good. They're not bad for what they do. Is trying to focus down, will not get that kill. The Tempest will have to fly back through all these enemy aircraft. We do got another Spitfire here for support. Will be forced to fall back. Is smoking at the moment. This one's going to be lining up a shot. Both of them are lining up a shot. Will splash him down. This Spitfire needs to start falling back. There's nothing you can do versus 2. However, there's a reinforcing Tempest now coming on out. This one is forced to retreat. So it's going to be 2 against 1. That's not ideal, especially when he had a good engagement angle. Will splash down that aircraft. You got a couple, at least a flak 88. However, will get spotted by the scout snipers. Will force to pin down, but none else. Also got a Panzer IV going up this railroad. I wonder, does a railroad count as a road in this game? I'm also not sure. You got Focke-Wulf 190 coming for a bomb run. You got the Spitfire on intercept. The Marauder is open top, so it can be taken out by these air support aircraft. Focke-Wulf 190 will in fact fall back. Has an ample amount of distance, so should be fine. And has a Flak 88 here to cover. Actually, now sustaining some fire. I'm running out of vision. No aircraft fell, so he did manage to escape. Firefly now moving on forward. The Marauder can penetrate the frontal armor, however, only has 2 armor of his own. It will die through a penetrating hit from most vehicles. At 11 armor penetration versus 2 armor, it actually has about 90 to 95% chance to penetrate. You got a King Tiger out on the field. Battle Phase C has recently just initiated. This is quite a huge gamble. They really need to make something happen in order to win. They are falling greatly behind on tickets. So this King Tiger is a very powerful option if it keeps on pushing. However, it needs to keep on pushing and not worry about side and flank arms. As I casted before, saw a lucky Wolverine shot, getting a single shot to the side armor, penetrating it and destroying it. You got some kangaroos. Kangaroos do use the M7 Priest or Sexton body, as you can see here. However, Kangaroo is generally applied to anything that's lobotomized from the original turret, such as the Ram Kangaroos, Churchill Kangaroos, Kangaroos. You got a Mauler, most likely eyeing for either Pack 43 or Flak 88. We do got some Sturm Pioneers, sniper units once again engaging, slowly bleeding away their frontal force. We do got these Sextons. That is a huge presence. There is no indirect fire for this team right here. Flak 88 in a very potent position. Sherman 3 actually forced to fall back, received a couple bounces. Panzer 4G does not have much armor, but however, it does have a big gun. The Sherman 3 most likely does have overall superior hand. However, this is at a Veteran C2 unit versus a Veteran C1 unit. There is a 17-pounder. They can be deadly accurate. He is approaching the range of it now. Lining up a shot. Going to hit the side armor. Rolls a miss. Panzer 4 needs to fall back. Will get transmission damage on the Sherman, but gets her tracks broken in return. We're going to see the progress of the King Tiger, still making its way to the front line. Actually, now able to fire some shots. 2 shots to be precise. Engine destroyed as well, and gets killed off by the 17-pounder. 16 armor penetration. You got a Hump Tripolston. Moving forward, Tripolston is a reliable AA weapon that is a Veteran C2, so it is quite effective versus aircraft. You got a number of stormtroopers in the area. 1 member is down to 1 guy. Stormtroopers will reign supreme in this forest area. That's why he's keeping them there. He's not worried about pushing forward. Kangaroo with 4 armor, it can withstand quite a bit of beating. However, the Ram Kangaroos do in fact have 8 armor, a significant amount of armor. Most of the Pack 43 has been spotted. Will most likely is trying to force the fallback. We'll run around the other side of the woods. Most likely will get ran down. We got another dogfight out in the area. Do got the Mosquito even pitching in a bit of damage with its frontal engagement. Maybe eyeing for another strafe hitting the Focke-Wulf. It does have significant amount of firepower, but most likely will be eyeing for a bombing on the King Tiger. King Tiger will most likely start to panic. Actually, I'm not exactly sure. That looks like a large miss. That's a huge miss. You got a Ju-88 with its 14 bombs about to rain in. Does force a fallback. I'm not exactly sure what caused all that fallback, but the Firefly and the Sword will be forced to fall back. I'm not. Sword. It has a Piet. It was a universal carrier body. Haven't seen that one before. He also came in unit. Mosquito is out of bombs. Most likely going I for maybe a couple strafing runs. I actually know the flak 88 to say nope. Time for you to fall back. Do got this half track running forward, eyeing for the surrender of the King Tiger. These strafing runs are keeping in the fallback state and pinned down state. This 222 really needed to move forward, but it did not in order to get some arm penetrating hits. He still has a vision of it. He's going to be eyeing for the engagement now after using the move fast. King Tiger is still in the fallback state, maybe out of it soon. But no, the more and more strafing runs coming on in, and will force the surrender of the King Tiger. Very nice play. Very nice play. That 222 could have saved it if it would move out of the line of sight blocker and use the armor penetrating cannon. In fact, I'm not. Will get killed off by the Firefly. Was that, or was that by the almost 7? Either way, is dead. You got a Focke-Wulf 190 coming in for a bombing run. Probably gonna be eyeing for one of these two units. Actually, the bomb is hit the Ram Kangaroo, but the Ram Kangaroo is out of ammo, so that was quite pointless. JOA coming in for another bombing run. Well, that's probably the other one because it rearmed quite quickly. We'll obliterate those two men. Martyr eyeing up a shot. Is approaching the range, so is the Firefly. Firefly gets off the first shot, but rolls a miss and causes a significant amount of suppression because it has only 2 armor. Firefly will get off the next shot. Actually, no, the Marauder did, but rolls another miss. Both sides. You got a significant amount of reinforcements. You got our Achilles. That is a Wolverine armed with a 17-pounder. Where's the Jackson? Looks like a Wolverine body. You got the Kasuda tank along with some half-tracks moving forward, gaining as much ground possible, solidifying their lead. They're currently approaching the 2,000 ticket market, and it looks like this game's going to end shortly. With this, I don't see any hope of the Axis players to get back. There's another King Tiger on the field, but it's far too late. That other King Tigers take forever to get the front line, even though the front line's right here. We'll force a surrender there. As tickets start counting up in favor with 3 tickets, plus 3 per, was it second? It's about 3 per second, yeah. Nice bombing run, doing a significant amount of pin down. They didn't really get all too many models. They were just outside the line, but doing a significant amount of damage. I'm sort of surprised he actually saw that right there. Why not everybody bomb there? I don't think he had any vision. Maybe he probably saw he sees down the road, so most likely he's guessed it right there. And that is the end of the replay. This is Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off.